You're listening to the Northamptonshire Carers Podcast.
Hello and welcome to an extra special edition of the Northamptonshire Carers Podcast. So normally we do a podcast generally the end of the month. There will be one. So I don't think that is not going to happen as well. But we wanted to add this one into the mix because between the 5th to the 11th of February, it's Race Equality Week. So I'm joined by my colleague, Catherine James Oliver. So say hello, Catherine.
Hello, Catherine. Delighted to be here. Absolutely delighted to be a part of this special feature podcast for Race Equality Week, February 2024. The theme, Adam, is listen, act and change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we just wanted to quickly share with our podcast family what Northamptonshire Carers are doing. So we are doing lots of things within the organisation, but for our community, we are listening to what our carers are saying around the support, information and care that they need for people living with sickle cell. We have been working closely with the East Midlands Sickle Cell and Thalassemia Network. We have also been working closely with Northampton General Hospital and Kettering General Hospital to act on what our sickle cell warriors are saying to us.
Mm-hmm.
So they are saying that the care that they receive when they come down in the sickle cell crisis needs to be improved. So we are listening and we are acting on that by raising it with the right people, really, to effect and enable change. One of our models, when I say our models, I mean our models of practice, our ways of working, is our community asset groups. We have the community asset groups for people living with and carers supporting their loved ones who have dementia, people living with diabetes, people living with heart failure or who have had a heart attack. We find that by having the community asset type model, which is having an expert present at a group meeting to give advice and guidance, we promote like a healthy eating, exercise, well-being activities. Also, we give information that's just enjoyable for the group so that people can leave happy and want to come back and return. And the most important thing is about the attendees getting the education and information that they need to live well with their long-term health condition.
Mm.
And we have found that by having that type of community asset model, people are feeling more empowered, they are living better, they're making informed decisions, they're having more informed conversations when they do need to go to their GP or their consultant. And basically, it's building up that independent resilience. And we know that if you build up independent resilience, you have less expectation and less desire to, want to see a GP. So we've found that by having these community asset groups, people are living well with their condition, feeling more informed, and then in turn are less dependent on our statutory services and our health and social care services. So we want to do the same thing for sickle cell. And this is an open invitation. We are already in dialogue, but this is an open invitation to our community out there to let you know that we are listening, we are acting, and we are committed to working with you to change the current service provisions and to improve them for people living with sickle cell.
That's great. Sounds fantastic. And I know something, having talked about the community asset groups on previous podcasts. So I know there's loads of good work that's happening that is making a real difference, as you've outlined there very clearly to people across the county. And it also felt that it was appropriate to maybe sort of use a few quotes or words that kind of really will make you think in relation to certainly Race Equality Week, beyond that as well, I guess. But so Maya Angelou, She said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And there's another one from a chap that, if you listen to the December podcast, where a number of us read poems and celebrating or not celebrating if you don't really enjoy the season, sort of festive season. And Benjamin Zephaniah was one that you read, actually, Catherine, Talking Turkeys, and just really, I don't know, just strange that way it happened that the day we recorded that. The next day, Benjamin Zephaniah had died, sadly. So that was kind of a podcast in tribute to him.
Yes.
So he said, if you didn't have troublemakers, most women wouldn't have the right to vote. And there's another great one, because you can't just have one Maya Angelou quote, really. It's the law that you have two, at least. So it felt like this resonated well with, I suppose, sort of potential positive change generally, whatever that may be. And certainly it picks up the themes for Race Equality Week for 2024 from the 5th to the 11th of Feb, as we've said. Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue. Obviously, other quotes and other authors are indeed, as ever, available. Yeah, hopefully they'll make you think a bit.
I think courage is absolutely something that can't be underestimated. You know, it's the courage to do things different. It's the courage to speak up. It's the courage to go against the grain, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely
when
right. Yeah.
everybody is saying, let's do it this way. It's having the courage to say, actually, I think we need to listen, and I think we need to act differently, and I think that will bring about the change that is most impactful.
Mm. Absolutely. And I think that if you look back certainly over history, that it is that what appears in the mainstream way of things, saying the unthinkable, and acting on that, and being that person that is the change and embraces that change, and maybe the only person doing that at that point. And interestingly, what often happens, and indeed has been shown to happen, is, and this could be for change of all kinds, that people declare you to be mad, talking absolute rubbish. And then suddenly you find, as if by magic, down the line, it's all accepted and everybody agrees with you. And all this sort of talk about, well, you know, that was really off the wall or left field or whatever you want to say, it's forgotten, because that's the normal now. But thanks for listening.
Yes.
You were thinking carer ambassadors, weren't you?
Carer ambassador, yes.
Yeah.
So carer ambassadors, helping us to help you. This is another initiative from Northamptonshire Carers. We are looking for carer ambassadors. Change happens from within. We are connecting with movers and shakers in our communities who are naturally connecting with carers in their everyday interactions. I'm just reading this. An opportunity for influencers to make impactful change within their community. We want to help them to help others. If you want to find out more about joining us as a carer ambassador, please do call us on 01933 677 907, or you can link to a video for more information at www.northamptonshire-carers.org/carers-ambassador.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done. You've done this before. I thought that it might be wise to say, well, obviously, thank you to Catherine for joining me, and it'd be interesting discussion if I was having it with myself. I'd probably find I agree with myself a lot, but it probably wouldn't be very interesting for anybody else. But I hope it's been thought-provoking and informative. Going to leave you with a couple of things. One is a quote from the wider sort of integrated care across Northamptonshire, aka ICANN Northamptonshire, in relation to Race Equality Week, 5th to the 11th of Feb, as I keep saying. It's time to listen, act and change this Race Equality Week. There's also a reference on the ICANN website about noting the equality barriers that are still faced in the workplace, and I guess society generally. They don't use that on the site, but that is something that I've just sort of added in to the mix. And I thought, because I like to finish with some sort of lyrical reference, obscure or otherwise, you might have heard this song. If you have heard it and haven't thought of it maybe in this way before, then take a listen on your streaming service of choice. There are choices out there, or even get the old sort of gramophone player out and stick it on there if you want. Listen to Sam Cooke. Change is going to come.
Oh.
And you might see it differently if you think of it through the perspective of what we've been talking about. Goodbye.
This podcast is created by Northamptonshire Carers and is a Man with a Beard production.